Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this whimsical styled buttercream cake. I've got a 9-inch cake board applying some buttercream, and I'll have that in the description box below, the recipe for the buttercream. And then add on a 7-inch cake, filling it in with that same buttercream, making sure it's nice and flat, and then adding on your next layer. I've used two 7-inch cakes, both of them have been cut in half, so I have 4 layers all together. And now I'm adding on a very thick crumb coat, so starting at the top, fanning it out to the sides, and then covering the rest of the cake with a thick layer. I'm taking my bench scraper just to scrape that down and make it nice and even along the sides, and then taking my spatula and smoothing off the top, bringing that extra lip to the center. Then I'm hovering my cake over a container filled with some round sprinkles / confetti, and just pressing that onto the cake. You want to work quickly so that your buttercream doesn't set and crust, that way it's nice and sticky. Go around the whole cake like so. And then starting on our second tier. This is a 5-inch cake going to a 5-inch cake board, which is sitting on a 8-inch cake board, and that's just so it's a lot easier to work with. It's stuck on there with buttercream. And then do the exact same thing. We're creating a thin crumb coat here, and then popping that into the freezer for 10 minutes just to set up, and then we'll apply our last layer of frosting. And this is the same buttercream, and I've coloured it orange with some Meringue gel food colour. Just kind of combine some red and yellow together. Making sure you have a nice thick coating around the whole cake, and then take your bench scraper, go around the cake slowly to make sure you get a nice, even, smooth finish, and clear off the top as well. I'm applying some sprinkles to the sides of this cake as well, just at the very bottom. Now I didn't have enough in the end, so I had to kind of grab them and stick them on there individually. But it still turned out alright. Pop that into the freezer for a good 20 minutes because we'll be handling it later. In the meantime, we'll make our white chocolate ganache. I have some white chocolate buttons. I've added in cream and a little bit of oil. I have the recipe in the description box below. And here I've added in just a drop of sky blue gel food colour by Meringue, and then pouring it over my bottom tier and using a spatula to press it out to the sides. I also added in that ganache into a piping bag and piping in the spaces where it's kind of lacking those drips. And you don't want these drips to reach the very bottom of your cake. You don't want them to touch the sprinkles. Try to keep them nice and small. Then I'm adding in some stability, so this is just some really thick straws, and that's going to support the weight of our top tier, which has been sitting in the freezer for 20 minutes, so we can handle it with our hands and position it right in the center very easily. And just take a step back to make sure that it's all centered. And then once you're happy with that, go on and decorate the rest of the cake. Here I've used meringues, and I'll have the link to the recipe video for the meringues in the description box below as well. And I've added on some candy coated chocolate. And you're done! That's how you make a very simple 2-tier cake decorated with a drip and these really fun edible round sprinkles. I particularly like the whole whimsical look of this cake. I think all the colours kind of add to that sort of theme, or at least I see the whimsical. I don't know what you guys see. If there's like a different theme, maybe like a baby theme that you're kind of getting from this cake kind of vibe. That's the tutorial for this Tuesday. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I will catch you next week again on Tuesday. If you like the little cake topper here, I do sell that on my website, rosiesdessertspot.com.